and welcome to another another Halloween video. And today, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have done a review for Halloween Ends, a spoiler review. However, that was like just coming out the cinema, a couple hours after that, and I was still kind of trying to process my thoughts about this movie. However, I've just kind of thought about, like going through each of these movies again. And that's why you see my last video was obviously, dealing with how each Blumhouse movie, mirrors the original Halloween trilogy. And it just made me want to, talk about Halloween Ends once again, just in one more video. I say that obviously it's not going to be the last video I talk about this, if you can call it a movie. But this will be the last video probably dedicated to it for a long time. Now, oh my god, how the hell did you mess up? I just don't understand that. Halloween Kills, obviously it's my favorite of the franchise, alright, don't judge me. Halloween Kills had like the perfect setup for a finale. Laurie was beginning to, heal, I guess you could say. Karen, essentially one of the main characters, got killed, and Michael is back at his house. You had the perfect finale set up, and you did absolutely nothing with that. So, I mean, let's just get this started. The fact that there's only the two best scenes in this entire movie are the opening and the ending. If I sound weirder for the rest of the video, it's because I'm lying down. So, obviously, the opening of the movie, we spend basically just wondering, okay, when is Michael Myers gonna show up? When is he gonna pop up? And it was a very unexpected opening. Probably my favorite opening of the entire franchise, just because of how different it is. Also, I'm all for dead kids in horror movies because I'm tired of this trope of the child always surviving. I'm glad that for Ends, they at least had a kid be the opening kill. But if you can call it a kill. This is the Corey Cunningham I liked. The Corey for the rest of the movie just brings back a bunch of PTSD for me. So let's just start with the characters, right? Because I feel like that is something very, very important that I have to talk about. So first of all, let's start off with Laurie Strode, right? Jamie Lee Curtis herself, who said for, many months that Halloween Ends is gonna make people angry. And that should have been the first red flag, right? If the executive producer of your movie is saying that it's gonna make people angry, why did you continue with this? Anyway, I'll rant off later. Let's start off with Laurie Strode. If you thought that Laurie was sidelined in Halloween Kills, you haven't seen anything yet. Because, I mean, let's face it, Laurie Strode is barely in this movie. Which really sucks because, in my opinion, this is the best interpretation of Laurie we've ever gotten. I don't know why, but I loved seeing her play this kind of loving grandmother. Like a real grandma. And not, the over-controlling, paranoid, freak from Halloween 2018. Even though, that is completely justifiable. I did do a short on that. When I upload it, I have no idea when that'll be. It'll make sense. Laurie basically just has like a beginning, like she has the scene with Allison, the scene at the market where we meet that lady from Halloween Kills who survived, the scene of Corey. I could basically count the scenes that she has in the movie, which really sucks, man. Next up is Allison. And oh my god, why? I loved Allison I didn't really love her in 2018. I did quite like her in Halloween Kills, and I was very excited to see what was going to happen in Ends. And really, your grandmother brings in this random boy, and you just immediately start making heart eyes at him? You fall in love with him after he sits down for like 3 seconds. What the fuck, man? Allison really pissed me off this movie, especially towards the end of the movie when she just started shouting at Laurie. I was like, don't you dare shout at Jamie Lee Curtis. You listen to her, you bitch. But obviously, the character who I think really should have gotten the most screen time in this movie, and no, it's not Michael, it's the sheriff. I feel like, okay, maybe not the most screen time, but you know what I mean, like, he should have gotten more, because he was in 2018, he was in Kills, but he didn't really do much, so we were kind of just waiting for him to have his time to shine, but we never got that. He didn't do anything. In Halloween Ends, I think he maybe has 5, maybe 6 seconds of screen time. He gets out of his car and says, "It is tonight," and then they just have a shot of him in his car. That is literally all the scenes we get of him at Halloween Ends. Hawkins as well, completely sidelined for the movie. He shows up at the beginning, and then he shows up at the end. Why? What the hell? Obviously, the elephant in the room. Michael, what happened to you, my man? What did they do to you? Not only has Michael Myers just become Pennywise, he just goes into the sewers for no apparent reason unless you go through the movie frame by frame. Just like Cece's World, and he actually showed why Michael's in the sewers, and that is because the Myers house was actually demolished, and you know, that was kind of Michael's goal in this Blumhouse timeline, is just he wants to go home, you know, and obviously now that he got home and the house is destroyed, what is he supposed to do? He just stays in the sewer. And oh my god, in Halloween Kills, right, you had undoubtedly the best Michael Myers you have had and probably will ever have. That guy was unstoppable, he was brutal, he was violent, and he was just really invincible. And then in Halloween Ends, he's just a weak little old man. Bear in mind, Halloween Kills takes place 4 years before Halloween Ends, meaning that Michael was 61 in, Halloween Kills, which is still, fairly old to take all those hits. And now at 65, he can barely stand up. He needed a walking stick, which sucks. Corey literally brought that guy who, oh my god, I have a lot to say about. He literally brought that guy to Michael Myers, and Michael was struggling. He would have been killed by that cop if Corey didn't intervene and hold the cop down for him. Speaking of the cop, first of all, that dude is probably like twice, if not thrice, Allison's age. Why is he an ex-boyfriend? And also, he's a Mulaney. And if you don't remember, in Halloween Kills, those kids in the 78 flashbacks literally said, "That's what you get when you fuck with the Mulaney's." I completely butchered that. And, obviously it kind of seemed like you were building towards something. Like, this is 1978, bear in mind. They don't just do the flashbacks in Kills for fun. They do it for important stuff. And what do? You introduce characters in the 78 flashback just so they can be an ex-boyfriend of one of the characters. What? Also, just a random bit of information. I went through Halloween Ends. I didn't watch it. I've only seen the movie once, and obviously I think the title more than says how I felt at the cinema. But Michael Myers, up until the final battle, only has 2 minutes and 67 seconds of screen time. What the hell? And then including the final battle, he has 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Obviously, this is Michael Myers when he's alive, alright? I'm not counting the whole procession scene. That is utter garbage. Your epic finale, you have the main villain of the movie for less than 10 minutes? Fucking dickheads, man. Obviously, when I'm talking about character screen time, there's only one that I should talk about, and that is, I hate saying this name, Corey Cunningham. The dude is introduced in the beginning of the movie, and we never leave his story until the moment he dies. And oh my god, why did you do this? The epic finale of this franchise that started 44 years before this movie. And what do you decide to do? You have the movie introduce a brand new character who no one has any attachment to. You have the entire movie be about them, only for the people we actually care about to fight in the last 15 minutes of the film. Because let's just talk about that. Corey Cunningham, for taking up 90% of this movie, all his character is just to bring Michael towards Laurie. Because in Halloween Kills, they quite clearly establish that Michael is not after Laurie. He will just go for whoever's in his way. And, obviously Dr. Sartain brought him to Laurie Strode's house. That's the only reason he ended up there. However, in saying that, yes, they put the audience at ease, because a lot of us were quite annoyed at at Laurie for saying he's after me, and we're like, no, he's not. So they obviously, they put the audience at ease, but at the same time, the writers shot themselves in the foot, because now they had to think of another reason as to why Michael would fight Laurie. I'm telling you what, honestly, I said I'm not going to do another video for Halloween Ends. I'm going to do one more, and I think it's the most important one. It's going to be how I would have done the film. Corey Cunningham is just the most sickening character from this whole movie. He's the most irritating, and he is the main character. In previous movies, Laurie Strode is the main protagonist, Michael Myers is the main antagonist. In this movie, they pull an Infinity War on us, where Corey is both the protagonist and the antagonist. They literally just turned him into a rip-off of Michael Myers. They gave him his own Myers house, which is where he killed Jeremy. And oh my god, this is so cringe. Also, they did the one thing that I absolutely despised. When Michael grabs Corey in the sewer, and Corey looks into Michael's eyes, you see his eyes, and I know that it's not really a negative for a lot of people, but personally I absolutely hate it when they show Michael Myers' actual eyes. The mask should just obscure them. They must just be black, like how they were in 1978, in 2018's Halloween. Because, they must be exactly how Dr. Loomis described them. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Because Corey was just like a regular, young adult. And then, when, he encounters Michael, he has like an entire personality switch. The dude turns into bloody John Wayne Gacy in like 5 seconds. It was so ridiculous, and probably one of my least favorite scenes in the entire franchise is Corey goes into the sewers and tells Michael, "You have something I need." Bear in mind, Michael Myers, just in the last movie, alright, he killed like 50 people all in one night. He took bullets, he took stabs, he probably took a beating with an iron as well from the last film. and Corey wrestles the shape to the floor and takes his mask. What can I say? What can I say? And then Michael Myers sits up like he did in the first movie. What are we supposed to do? Applause? Grandpa Myers just got his ass whooped by like a 24-year-old. You're trying to tell me that that kid in the beginning who chose chocolate milk over the Heineken, which, let's be honest, most of us would do. You're trying to tell me that chocolate milk dude is the one who beat Michael Myers in a wrestling fight? I don't believe that. And, you know, on the topic of Corey taking Michael's mask, can we please just talk about the kills in this movie? They are, I know that in my first review for the film, I said that they were gory and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with me. These were some of the shittest kills I've ever seen in this franchise, especially considering, you know, you come off a movie literally titled Halloween Kills. You know, you kind of set a standard. With Halloween Ends, there's a lot of off-screen stuff. You know, there's really only one kill that is kind of impressive, and that's the DJ, you know, when he cuts out his tongue. Apart from that, okay, well, and Jeremy, I guess, but really there was nothing else. The blowtorch death, if we're being real, was utter shit because they didn't even show it. It was blurred out and half off screen. I have seen some of the extended deaths, you know, that were cut from the film, like that the girl who was trapped under the fence after the blowtorch kill. Corey obviously steps on her, you know, like crushes her head. There is a slightly extended version of that which I have seen, and there's also the actual death of Corey's mother, which, why was that not in the movie? The woman was such a bitch. She wouldn't even let him talk on the, like, text on the phone. She should have gotten the most brutal death, honestly. Instead of killing the stepfather, a character who people actually liked, you should have just killed the mother. But really, this shouldn't be something we would have to worry about when, you know, Corey Cunningham really shouldn't even be in this movie in the first place. The movie is supposed to be about Laurie and Michael. That's what it was advertised as, right? I just want you to take that into consideration. From the entire trailer of Halloween Ends, Corey Cunningham, the main character, is only in one shot of the trailer, and that is when he says, "'Cause he is coming." That is literally it. The rest of the trailer is all showing Laurie and Michael. I kind of got off topic with the kills, but just one more thing is that Michael Myers has 0 kills in this movie if it wasn't for Corey. Think about it. The officer, like Mulaney dude, would have killed him if it wasn't for Corey. Corey pinned him down. You know, first the nurses, you know, Dr. Mathis and redhead bitch. Oh my god. First of all, Corey killed Dr. Mathis, and Michael wouldn't even be in that location if it wasn't for Corey. Oh my god, what is this buddy cop movie, man? I didn't need to see Michael Myers work with someone else. And that is it, my friends. Michael Myers kills 0 people in this film without Corey's help. You could say he killed the nurse, but he wouldn't have been in that location if it wasn't for Corey. But there's just something that I'm so confused about, and that is how people can call this a good film. Now, I just want to make this clear, right? It is a good movie as like just a general horror film, you know, like a Halloween holiday-centered movie. As the franchise Halloween, it would have been nice if it was maybe a previous one, but the fact that this was your finale is utter trash. I mean, really, this is your grand finale, and what do? Oh, let's just introduce a new character, follow him for 90% of the movie, and then oh, there's 20 minutes left. Yeah, let's just have Michael just pop up, for no reason. Take his mask, suck his evil out of Corey, and just die. Oh, also, let's make sure Michael Myers and Laurie Strode need to only share 2 scenes, because we also have to take that into consideration that Michael and Laurie are only in the same scene twice in this film. The first one is barely a scene, it's just like a clip. Obviously it's of Laurie. I think it was when she was talking to Lindsay, I could be wrong about that. And then they just show Michael, by a tree. And then he walks away. That's the first scene. And then the second scene is the final battle. So, this was advertised as the epic conclusion to this franchise. And unlike Jurassic World Dominion, where, they obviously confirmed more Jurassic movies before the film came out, Halloween Ends is the actual finale of this franchise currently. Or at least this timeline. Because let me just talk about my cinema experience. So, I took 2 of my friends to see this film as like a late birthday treat, because my birthday came out. What the fuck? My birthday was on the 11th of October, and obviously Halloween Ends came out on the 14th, and I wanted to go see it opening weekend. So I asked 2 of my friends. They know nothing about Halloween. Alright? They knew absolutely nothing other than Michael Myers is the villain. Alright? They hadn't seen a single movie. So I went to go see it with them. I kid you not, I think it was by the time of the club scene of with Corey and Allison, I was sinking lower and lower into my seat. I know when people say that, you're like, oh my god, yeah, you're exaggerating. I kid you not, I am not exaggerating one bit. I just kept sinking and sinking and sinking. And I just looked over at my friends and I was like, guys, I'm so sorry I wasted your time with this. And they probably didn't hate it as much as me, obviously, because I'm a passionate fan of this franchise. Michael Myers is my favorite horror villain. This is the first Halloween movie they saw. So honestly, man, I think if I went further down into my seat, I would literally be looking at the ceiling. Fucking hell, I couldn't believe this. I was watching this movie in the cinema. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was god awful. Now, before this, my worst cinema experience was The Meg. Not because of the movie. The movie was fucking amazing. But this actual cinema, the aircons weren't working, the popcorn was stale. I hated that. But at least it was a good movie playing. With Halloween Ends, I took my friends to go see it. And it was garbage. It was so bad. So yes, as the title suggests, Halloween Ends is not only my most disappointing film of all time, it is also the worst cinema experience of my entire life. So that was just me ranting about Halloween Ends yet again for a very long time. This video is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, obviously I'm a fan, alright? I'm a Halloween fan. I have the right to voice my opinion. So at the same time, I don't really feel that bad about bashing this film. And it would have been nice if they did it properly. Obviously I will do a video of when I actually, explain how I would have done Halloween Ends. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed me, complaining about this pile of rubbish for, like 25 minutes. Yeah, honestly, if there's any film that makes me angry or sad, it is this film. But if you enjoyed this very, very salty video, leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.